I spent the last 7 days tracking hundreds of new forum posts, which conversations are quietly growing, which ones are kind of dying off, and which ones are exploding. And what I found this week was kind of surprising. Come back after the break and we'll talk about it. Welcome back. I'm Lance with Enhanced Underground. I spend hours every day reading these PD forums so you don't have to. This is the weekly roundup where I come back here and tell you what I've been reading all week and what the most discussed topics are or the hot topics were for the last 7 days on these on the PD forums. It's always encouraging that the most it's always encouraging that the most discussed topic is lab testing, and Janoschik reports are always, Janoschik's taking some heat for his by the sources for Raw's testing. It's not matching, and the sources are saying that's not matching, so they're overdosing their products based on the Janoschik reports for their raws. But finished oil product wise, there's not a lot of complaints there from the finished oils. So, testing is always the number one topic of this conversation, which is as it should be. If you were just logging extreme data, HGH stole the show by far this week on the PED forums. It's no longer, is there a shortage? It's basically it seems to me, according to most of the forums I'm reading, is that the HGH shortage is over, and now everyone has an abundance of HGH, and now it's more so like during the panic, did I buy real HGH or did I get screwed? So now people are like, what does cloudiness mean, and aggregates, and what are the testing? And so the HGH story has quietly kind of like, it was a shortage. Everyone was, HGH was popular, or probably raw data wise, like, how do I get it? Where do I get it? What's the cause of the shortage? And now it's like the shortage is over. Did people sell me real HGH, or did I panic buy garbage, basically, right? So now all the threads are, what does this mean? What does cloudiness mean? And also, I think a lot of people must be starting HGH for the first time, because there are a lot of threads all of a sudden about IGF, get their numbers tested, and my IGF-1 is this, and people love to post they love to come on the forums and say, my GF1 is this normally, and it was this after HGH, and so I bought bunk HGH. And there's always somebody that's super smart in the comments. It's like, hey, that you can't really trust IGF numbers based, you never know what your body's doing with this stuff. Same thing with testosterone. People love to say, like, well, 200 milligrams of testosterone puts me at 1100. Like, oh, good for you, but 200 milligrams puts me at 600. So it doesn't, it's like, it's not really a flex. It's like everybody's body is different. It's all independent, right? So I don't want to get off on a tangent, but you see where I'm going. Same thing with IGF-1 levels. Everyone's posted their IGF-1 levels saying it's this or this, and there's always someone that says, hey, those are individual. You never know. It's all your body based. And of course, the third is retatrutide, right? I've made so many videos about retatrutide. I'm not even the retatrutide guy, but I make so many videos about that I'm getting like pigeonholed as the retatrutide guy. But it is the third most popular, thread by sheer numbers of like forum posts. Retatrutide is up there already. And it's not like, again, it's not how do I get it or does it work? It's now more so the posts have kind of shifted from does it work to, hey, I'm using it, and what do I do? Sulfur burps, or how do I deal with this side effect, or is it good for a cut or bulk? So it's almost like people have accepted, they're no longer discussing or arguing about whether it works or not. It's like, we're on it now, how do we deal with this, or what can I do what can I do with it while I'm on it? So you can kind of see the shift of, hey, we're past the whole does it work, and we're moved on into what else can I do with it. And the fourth most popular thread this week on the PED forums was basically, it was Indian post-cycle therapy treatments and trusted countries for sources versus other countries, and whether or not India versus China is a good place to get get peptides or post-cycle therapy treatments and things like that. And so one of the new things I've been tracking is which sources are having the most discussions, not necessarily for any good reason or bad reason. It's just simply discussion wise, like which source is getting the most posts. Having the most posts in your thread for a source is not necessarily a good thing. Not necessarily a bad thing. It means you have a lot of people in your thread, which could be good, but they could be having conversations that are not so good for you. So I'm just, in a sheer data point of view, I was kind of looking at the most popular by discussion or replies or posts has been this another Chinese three-letter company, WWB. Keeping an eye on them. I've been reading a little bit about them, kind of seeing what's going on, and it's another three-letter Chinese international source, and it's dominating the threads just like QSC used to. Now I'm sure they don't appreciate the comparison, or maybe they do. I don't know, but I'm keeping an eye on that one. But they are the most discussed source thread this week on the PED forums. One of the it's funny, like, one of the biggest, I thought one of the biggest stories was the FDA for the peptide FDA peptide discussion. It didn't really blow up on the PED forums. I'm sure the, peptide forums probably are, all about it, but, the PED forums, it kinda was, had a few comments, but it didn't really explode the way I thought it would, but I'm keeping an eye on that whole thing because I'm sure that's coming. One of the new things I added this week for my to my weekly underground is Reddit, right? I've been going through the Reddit posts and the Reddit threads and kind of incorporating those into some of my findings as well. And Reddit takes a lot of heat on the PD forums because it's a lot of beginner type questions, and it's a lot of new guys kind of start off on Reddit and they graduate to the PD forums, so they take a lot of heat on the PD forums for being newbie questions a lot. But they are kind of asking their questions for the most part this week have been kind of like, what do I do? How do I use it? Versus the PED guys are more like, testing and sterility and stuff like that. So it's more the kind of advanced searches. But Reddit is, I have incorporated Reddit into my weekly underground numbers as well. So what do you think? Did I miss something? Is there a story you think out there that I'm missing out on? Is something coming this week that I should be keeping an eye on? Let me know in the comments. Again, my name's Lance. This is Enhanced Underground, and I'll see you in the next video.